Hey, good morning. How in the world are you doing? I wanted to pop on here for a minute and say hello and say thank you to all of the veterans who have served this great country that we live in. Give a big shout out to all the veterans, including my little brother. He's not so little, he's much bigger than I am. He's 6'5". I'm 6 foot. But I want to say thank you to all the veterans who've served our country. Susan Day, how in the world are you? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. So I wanted to talk today. There's my brother right there. Thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day. I don't know if that's appropriate, but to say Happy Veterans Day, but a lot of veterans lost their lives so that we could have freedom in this country. So I want to say thank you. Tony, how are you? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother. So I want to talk a little bit about something. I made a post a little bit ago that said, are you going to live 90 years or are you going to live the same year over and over again 90 times? And, I think that is really important to reflect on and think about. Because are you living the same? Is it Groundhog Day for you? Remember the movie with Bill Murray? Is it Groundhog Day? Are you living the same day over and over and over and over every day? And I started looking at some things, and one of my favorite authors and teachers is a guy by the name of Dr. Wayne Dyer. Absolutely love the man's teachings. And he was talking about something, and I want to read it to you. He was talking about something from a writing called The Masters of the Far East. But it says in this that it has clearly been stated that life lived by the average individual is hypnotic. That is, the majority of men and women are not living life as it was intended at all. Not one in a million feels the freedom to live what he or she inwardly feels he or she should live. He has come under the world opinion of himself, and this opinion is what he obeys, rather than the law of his own being. In this respect, and to this degree, he is living under a hypnotic spell. He lives under the delusion that he is a mere human being, living in a merely material world, and only hopes to escape it when he dies and goes to what he calls heaven. This is not the determination intended in the plan and purpose of life. Obedience to one's inner nature, the expression of life as he instinctively feels it ought to be expressed, is the very foundation of life, which the masters reveal as the only true mode of living. How many people do we know? How many people that are watching this now or will watch it? How many of you are really, 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 truly living your life, not what you think you should be living? Justin Myers, my brother, how you doing, man? Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all veterans that see this. Thank you for your service. God bless you. Thank you so much. I really genuinely mean that. One of my only regrets is that I never went into the service. One of my only regrets. And I'm very grateful for those who served. So I want to, there's a book that is, hey, Chris Saraceno. I know that was a typo. You know my name's not Jen. I see your correction already, dude. So, there's a book called The Four Agreements written by a guy named Don Miguel Ruiz, and I've read it many, many times. Justin, my brother, my little brother, who's not so little, he's 6'5.5". He's my younger brother, is on this stream right now too. He served in the Navy for 10 years. He was over in the Norfolk area, which I think you were as well. Go Navy. So this book written called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz is an amazing book. And here's a little excerpt out of it called The Domestication of Humans. Children are domesticated in the same way that we domesticate a dog, a cat, or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and we give it rewards. We train our children, whom we love so much, the same way we train any domesticated animal, with a system of punishment and reward. We are told, you are a good boy or you are a good girl when we do what mom and dad wants us to do. When we don't, we are a bad girl or a bad boy. So we are literally in a domestication mode. Don Miguel Ruiz says, death is not the biggest fear we have. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive. The risk to be alive and express what we really are. Hey, Tracy, how are you? So, I really contemplate quite often on, am I really living, really living everything that I'm supposed to be living? Am I really making an impact? Am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And this little thing says that Nietzsche tells us that society tames the wolf into a dog, and man is the most domesticated animal of all. That's pretty deep. And then I thought about the poem by Marianne Williamson called Our Deepest Fear. It's from her book called A Return to Love. And she wrote, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. You all have experienced that, where you're in the presence of Grant Cardone or Zig Ziglar or Joel Osteen or these amazing people that are out here teaching people how to live, how to be free, how to live the life that you're really supposed to live. And just being in their presence around them, you feel that energy, you feel that liberation to be everything you're supposed to be. But yet many of us still live 90 years, and it's the same exact year over and over and over, 90 times. And at the end of life, we call that a life. There's a book that was written by a woman who is a hospice nurse, and it's called The 5 Biggest Regrets of the Dying. I forget her name. But the number one the number one, not fear, the number one regret, rather, is that they didn't have the courage to live what they were supposed to do. And so there's another book. I like to read, if you can't tell. But there's another book that it's literally sitting right back here behind me under that Zig Ziglar book. And it's written by Jack Canfield. It's called The Success Principles. And in that book is a story, and I put the same story in my book, and I said I read it originally in Jack Canfield's book. But it's an old Hindu tale about how the answers to everything, the secrets to all of life, to everything, were hidden from us humans many, 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 many years ago because it was being abused. And this secret to every answer that you seek in life, it's readily available to every single one of us, but very few of us actually seek it out. Instead, we go through life complaining about our problems, blaming other people, blaming situations, complaining, being whiny little, I'll be nice, brats. How about that? And we sit around and sulk. And again, we look outside and try to blame everything and everybody else for our problems. Well, the problems exist and they grow because you're looking out there blaming everything and everyone else. When in fact, if you would just take responsibility for every single outcome in your life, take full responsibility for every single outcome in your life. That's the number one, the very first principle in Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles, is take full responsibility, 100% responsibility for every single outcome in your life. Well, Ken, I was in an auto accident. Maybe you were running late and you weren't paying attention. That's your fault. Maybe you should have gotten up 5 minutes, 10 minutes earlier and left earlier. I don't know. But again, I don't want to get into the semantics of it. But when we take full responsibility for everything, which is actually the most difficult thing to do in life, I believe, is taking full responsibility, never blaming anyone or anything else, taking full responsibility for everything. And learning how to sit in silence, in complete and total silence, and meditate. Go inside, look at, and people get all caught up in the word meditate. Oh, I read an article, a Christian article that said meditation is self-serving and selfish and self-centered and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, the Bible says Jesus went and meditated for 40 days and 40 nights, so I don't know. But, look, all I know is in that same book, the Success Principles, the story, the old Hindu story, talks about that gift that we all have been given, but it's hidden and we have to find it. And that gift is the answers to everything in life that you want to know. And that gift is hidden inside of each and every one of us. And all we have to do is connect to it. Connect to it. What's up, Mike Chavez, Mitch Brewer, Susan Day. Susan, it is. Richie Bello, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, Richie. I haven't seen Richie in a minute. So, if you can learn, and it's, again, the answers, if you go, well, I don't know how to meditate. A friend of mine used to say that I believe the desire to please God pleases God. Just the desire to please God. I believe that if you have the desire, the real desire to find the answers, I'm not judging anyone in any way. I have been through it. I've done it. I've blamed other people. I've complained. I've whined. I've moaned. I've done all of it. I've done all of it. So I'm not judging. I've been there. I bought the T-shirt and I wore it out. I wore it out. Okay? But what I'm saying is, once you accept full responsibility for every single outcome in your life, and you learn to go inside, look in here, under your xiphoid process, that's where the answers exist. That's where the answers are. Once you do that, and this is, hey, Jonathan Cochran, how you doing, man? Once you do that, you start finding the answers. You start connecting with God. You start connecting with the spirit of the creator of the universe, of everything. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you saying that. When you learn to, I've had many people that I've talked to, like I say, look, go learn how to meditate. Let me get a drink of my, look, I've got a Jeffrey Gitomer coffee mug, and it says coffee's for closers on this side. I'd say I've earned that cup. So, learn to the chatter, and I write in my book, I say, I wake up every morning to the judge, jury, and executioner. I wake up every morning hearing those voices. Have my entire life. I have since I can remember being able to remember. So Tony, thank you, but so are you. So are you. So are you. So is everybody. We're all one. And, I read recently that I was looking at the odds of winning the lottery. I think it's 1 in 302 million or something like that. Do you know what the odds are of you, the exact you? Your DNA structure, you. Do you know what the odds are of you being born? Do you know what they are? The lottery is 1 in 302 million that you'll win, right? So I buy tickets now and then. I'm like, hey, you know what? The odds are 0 if I don't play, and I like the odds of 1 in 302 million. Far better than 0. So, 409 trillion. 1 and over 400 trillion. Like, the average human mind, including mine, cannot even understand what 400 trillion is. Like, I don't understand what 302 million is. My brain can't go that far. It doesn't have that ability. So the odds are much, 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 like literally trillions of times better that you're going to hit the lottery than actually being born. And yet, here you are. Here you are. We are all, every single one of us, we are a miracle. I remember watching the birth of both of my daughters, and I was there. And they come out, and it's like this thing, like this feeling. And if you have children, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you look at your child and you're like, how? What a miracle. Like, it's an absolute miracle. It is amazing. 1 in over 400 trillion are the odds that you're supposed to be here. Like Mike Chavez says, he was the fastest swimmer. So, like, listen, you've got to realize that you are a miracle. I love you too, Mike Chavez. You're a miracle. You are a miracle. 1 in 400 trillion. Like, dude, you don't get, like, seriously. People complain about the U.S. deficit is in the trillions, but, like, do you even know what that means? I don't get it. Like, I can't wrap my brain around $1 trillion. Yet the odds of me being born are 1 in 400 trillion. Jack Branch, my man, how you doing? Listen, learn to look inside. There's a chapter in my book called Look Inside. Learn to look inside. Learn to quiet your mind, quiet the negativity, the voices, the judge, jury, and executioner. Learn to quiet all that down. Learn to quiet it all down. Relax. Relax. You're a miracle. You literally are a miracle. And yet most of us are going through life every day with these complaints, this negativity going on up here. About, well, this, he doesn't like me, she doesn't like me, this isn't going my way, that's not going my way, oh, what if this, what if that? Dude, go read the book The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and go read Marianne Williamson's book A Return to Love, and go read Dr. Wayne Dyer's book There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem, because there is, I promise you. Stop the deliberating, Mike Chavez. Stop the deliberations. You can stop that. You can turn that off. And you can have the life that you were supposed to live. You don't have to live the life that you were programmed to believe you're supposed to be living. I was too. We were all programmed. But man, when are you going to shake that off? When you're 90? When you're 90? How about when you're my age, when you're 50, and you go, oh God, I had this epiphany a couple of years ago, like, oh my God, my entire life has been a lie. Like, everything I've believed, everything I've lived for, everything I've done has been for somebody else, for other reasons besides my own. You can change that. You can change that today, right now, in this moment. Shake the programming. You were domesticated. Nobody likes to hear that. I was domesticated. We were domesticated. We were programmed to believe a certain way. We were programmed to believe that we're supposed to do this as our profession. We were programmed to believe. And so we grow up going, and you know how you know where that fear comes in, right? You're going, oh, but I want to be a professional fisherman like Jack Branch. I want to be a professional whatever, but I'm supposed to be over here in this industry, and so you start to move towards that thing that you think you feel it, you know you're supposed to be doing that thing over there, and then you get all this like you stop and you're like, oh no, this doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel comfortable because you're going against the grain of your programming. So fear sets in and you start making up all of the reasons why you can't do that over there. Your mind starts doing that so it can justify that you're supposed to go back to what you're doing. Don't go chasing your dreams. So that fear sets in. Your mind starts justifying it. Your mind starts justifying, so you'll go back to just getting that paycheck, man. Get that paycheck. Take care of your family. And I'm not saying don't take care of your family. Tony says, life is so short, Ken. Help others. Look around. When you live life, you experience it. When you experience life, you have lived it. What a dream to live life. What a journey. We keep learning till we pass through the gates of heaven. I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Like I said, I want to read this again from the Masters of the Far East. It has been clearly stated that life lived by the average individual is hypnotic. That is, the majority of men and women are not living life as it was intended at all. Not 1 in a million feels the freedom to live what he inwardly feels he should live. He has come under the world opinion of himself, and this opinion is what he obeys rather than the law of his own being. In this respect and to this degree, he is living under a hypnotic spell. He lives under the delusion that he is a mere human being living in a merely material world and only hopes to escape it when he dies and goes to what he calls heaven. This is not the determination intended in the plan and purpose of life. Obedience to one's inner nature, to yourself, the expression of life as he instinctively feels it ought to be expressed, is the very foundation of the life which the Masters reveal as the only true mode of living. Man, if you're living a life that you were programmed to believe you should be living, and yet you look out here and you see all these other people, the Tony Robbins and the Grant Cardones and the Zig Ziglars and the Brian Tracys and the people that we all look up to, respect, know, and love and learn from, you see them living these magical lives, and yet you're still stuck and you're still trying to figure out how to put $50 together, or you're still stuck and you're trying to figure out how to make your car payment or make your mortgage payment or buy food or pay the electric or live your dream. The reason you're stuck is the programming. That's why you're stuck. And that's why I truly believe that me I didn't learn anything. I just started doing some silence in the mornings. It started out as a few minutes and it turned into, sometimes I do it for 10 minutes, sometimes I do it for 30 minutes, sometimes even longer. But I spend time just in silence. I'll write out my goals. I'll write out some positive affirmations. I'll write out all that stuff. And then I really sit and I contemplate on them. I really put some spiritual energy into that so I can be everything I'm supposed to be. Because I personally do not want to get to 90 years old and regret never taking a chance. Regret not going after my dreams. Regret not picking up the phone and making that phone call. I don't want to have those regrets. So I'm going to give it everything I have. And if everybody out there, all the spiritual teachers, including Jesus, including Buddha, including all of these spiritual teachers, have said the answers are within you, go look. They're there. Go look. They are there. If they all say that, then I might want to, I'm just saying, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I might want to just consider it to be a possible truth for a moment. In my case, it's been over 15 years. So that's it. Thank you to all of the veterans who've served this country. Thank you to each and every one of you. I have many members in my family that are veterans, and we all know and love veterans in these United States of America. George MacDonald, my brother, how you doing, man? There's a guy right there. Love that dude. We went to school together our entire lives. And you know, he knows this now. But I used to like really look up to and I still do. I look up to him, but I remember in school feeling so much less than that guy, right? And now here we are, really good friends, 50 years old. I think he's older than me. I think he's 51. But I looked up to him, man. I mean, I really put him up here on a pedestal in my mind when I was a kid because I was going through programming. We were all going through programming. We were being programmed to believe a certain way. And I can tell you right now, right here and right now, that if I lived the life that I was programmed to live, man, it would not be good. I can promise you that. Would not be good. I broke the programming. I snapped that record in half, man. I busted it. I said, wait a minute. There is a better way. I don't have to go work at a factory for minimum wage or whatever. There is a better way. I can live the life that I was supposed to live. I can go help everybody that I can possibly help. I am capable of doing that. I broke the programming. I started asking the questions. The questions. You're not supposed to ask questions. Well, I did, and I continue to. Robert Brooker, how in the world are you, my brother? Many people that I look up to are much younger than I. Hi, George. George is a good dude, man. I love that dude. He's such a good guy. So listen, go break the chains, man. Break the chains today. Today! Don't say I'm going to do it tomorrow. That's ridiculous. Tomorrow is never going to come, and you know that. How many days of your life have you said, I'm a gonna. Don't be an I'm a gonna doer guy. Do it. Take action. Do it. Stop saying I'm a gonna. Don't say it anymore. Go do. Go do it. Life's moving on with you or without you. If you're not living your dream, you're living somebody else's dream. And boo-hoo. I think that just stinks. Biggest mistake I ever made? The biggest mistake I ever made was trying to conform my dreams to fit into somebody else's dream. Biggest mistake I ever made. Ever. But I learned a lot from it, man. I learned a lot from it. And now I apply that in my life. Go live your life. Live your dreams. Look inside and quiet the chatter up here. Look down in here. Look inside. The answers are there. Tracy, I love that mantra as well. Just do it. Just do it. You can. And I'm going to tell you, I've had some amazing people on my show. I have a daily show, as most of you know, or a lot of you do, called Breakthrough Walls. Chris Saraceno, I don't know if you're still on here, but Chris is the vice president of the Kelly Automotive Group, and so he's an owner of, I don't even know how many locations or rooftops you guys have, but it's a lot. And Chris is also the author of, boom, The Theory of Five. And this is a great book. In fact, I have it bookmarked back here under Grant Cardone's story because he interviews a bunch of people in here, and I'm telling you, it's a great book. But I've had some amazing people on, like Chris Saraceno. I'm going to offend somebody if I try to name everybody, so I'm not going to. But I know some of the most watched episodes are Chris Saraceno. Johnny Wimbrey, man, he's at like 2,300 views now. Johnny Wimbrey's is insane. I've had, let's see, Emily Frisilla, Andy Frisilla's wife. She's been on. She was amazing. I've had so many. Sharon Lecter, Bob Berg, so many amazing people on this show. And listen, I wasn't supposed to know people like Chris Saraceno. I wasn't supposed to be friends. Chris called me 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago with an idea. I mean, I've got the VP of and co-owner of a huge car dealership group just calling me at 9:30 at night or whatever time it was with an idea for me to help me. And I was like, wow, I'm not supposed to be that guy that gets those phone calls. I'm not supposed to be that guy. My programming that I received was totally different than that. And so here I am now getting phone calls from, and then yesterday morning I get a phone call from Lisa Copeland. Like, I'm so connected to so many massive, powerful, unbelievably caring and giving and loving people like Chris, like Lisa, Sharon Lecter, all of these people that it blows my mind. Blows my mind. That's not the programming I received. Do you guys get that? I'm a high school dropout. I walked out in 12th grade when they said, you didn't get a biology credit, so you can't graduate. And I said, yes, I can. Who needs biology? That's a stupid subject. I don't like it. That's why I failed it. I hated biology, and I don't want a biology credit. So let's give me the diploma. I took all the other stuff. I did calculus and trig and analytic geometry and all that. Like, I took all that, so give me my piece of paper, you programmers, which is all they were, programming me to believe that piece of paper was going to determine my success in life. And so for years I believed that I was less than because I didn't have that piece of paper. Stop believing that madness. Stop believing that. Like, seriously, I'm a high school dropout. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not proud that I didn't get a diploma and live by the rules or the standards of society, but I didn't. And guess what? I've been incredibly successful in spite of it. In fact, I've had a lot of college graduates work for me. I've had people with Juris Doctorates work for me on salary in my company. So, you know what? The programming that you received is false. Reprogram yourself. Take responsibility for your life and reprogram yourself. Becky Chernick, I love you too. You're amazing. Becky Chernick is absolutely amazing. So reprogram yourself. And if you're running with people that are like, oh, but you have to conform, then either conform or get away from those people. Get those people out of your life. Sorry, I'm getting a little fired up. But I think about that, and I think about how, when my little girl tells me something that a teacher said to her, if it's sideways in any way, Holy Mother of God, that teacher better look out. Because I'm coming to have a talk with them. So you've got to either accept that you're going to conform. Eric Cornelius, my brother, dude, you need to come and see me, man. You're close by now, and I'm tired of your excuses. So get in the car and drive to Ohio, bro. So listen up. If you're around people that want you to conform to their dreams, then either accept your demise in life, that you literally are going to have to live the rest of your life conforming to somebody else's BS, or get out of that environment. Eric, yeah, okay, never mind, dude. Don't come up here, man. Don't now you got me worried. So look, you've got to, Susan, put it out there. I want to hear about the title of your new book. So, learning how to replace our blueprint is important. Good, Eric. You hang out over there with Greg. Stay away from me. So listen. Either accept your demise, accept your destiny to be conformed to someone else's dreams, or reprogram yourself. Couple of books I recommend. Change Your Life or Die. I love it. George, good, dude. I had that thought when I started this. I thought, I'm going to go off, and hopefully George McDonald gets on here and he listens. I love you, dude. So, what was I saying? I forget now. I think I've said enough. Stop conforming, man. Stop conforming. The biggest regret that dying people have is that they didn't have the courage to live the life that they dreamed of living. Don't be like that. Don't be that. Look, you're going to die. You are going to die. Period. Nobody gets out of here alive. All the books, yes. Thank you, George. Nobody gets out of this alive. Book number 1, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Book number 2, let me think of it. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. That book will mess you up, man. Because your financial blueprint, programming, your financial programming, unless you're rolling in a G550 like Grant Cardone is and got a couple, $200, $300, $400, $500 million sitting around, you may have some financial programming that needs tweaked. And that book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, will mess you up. It will. You'll go, oh. And if you're older like me, if you're 50 or older and you read that book, oh man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. I'm telling you, man. Like you've got to escape from your programming, and the answers are already there. The answers are already screaming at you on a daily basis. The answers, the desires to do what you're supposed to be doing, they're there. They're punching you in the face all the time. They're telling you to wake up, live what you're supposed to live. Go do it. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to every single veteran in the United States of America. Thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for your service. Thank you for helping to provide the freedom that we get to experience in this country every single day. Thank you. And thank you all for being on here. And thank you to everyone who shared this too. I appreciate it. You guys have an amazing day. And we will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with another guest on Breakthrough Walls. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day.